Hello there, my name's Sheridan. I work for Greater Manchester Fire and Rescue Service and I'm the Borough Commander for the Fire and Rescue Service here over in Wigan, in Greater Manchester. It's the job of a firefighter nowadays has changed really from being not just putting out fires and cutting people out of cars into almost being a semi-social worker, in that we know that the root cause of a great many fires is caused by chaotic lifestyles. I often say to folk, there's no point in trying to cure the cold if we don't cure the virus, and curing the virus really is chaotic lifestyles. I've done some work recently, or over the past 2 years, with public health in Wigan, whereby I saw some opportunities, and as a Greater Manchester Fire and Rescue Service, we've seen opportunities across the piece to work with public health in the community to enhance our skills within the community. Every year, certainly in Wigan, we go to 6,500 home fire safety checks just on this borough, and around about 4,000 incidents. So we're going into people's homes and properties. And when we do a home fire safety check, we're actually checking for people to be safe from fire, but it's really a home safety check that we're doing, whereby now we're talking to folk and signposting folk if they may show signs of alcoholism, smoking cessation problems, that type of thing. So we'll signpost them into the necessary services as best we can. We've had some real great hits and successes with that in going into people's properties, in that the local authority health providers have actually seen a rise in the number of interventions coming from the fire service, and where people have actually assisted and seen what we've been doing and said, well, that's good for me and I'll go for it. Every firefighter carries one of these in their pockets, and we actually give these to the members of the public, and every firefighter has been trained in the Royal Society of Public Protection Level 2 training, as I have myself and all my command team. Right. So basically this leaflet here will give a little bit of a synopsis of each of the organisations and how they can help the person, and each firefighter can explain it more in detail, give it to the occupier, and then it's up to them then to make that decision to change their lifestyle, which has been quite a success at the moment. I would say sometimes it's difficult at work at first because nobody likes change. I've often sold the story of there's no point in going fitting a smoke alarm if you can see that that person is vulnerable, if you can see that that person may be subject to domestic abuse, if you can see that that child might be in a poverty situation and walking away from it. Because in the back of my mind is the Baby Peter Victoria Clambier incidents, whereby folk went there, there was no joined up approach, and as a firefighter many years ago, so I've been doing the job for 26.5 years now, there was times when I went home and sat at home having my tea, mulling it over in my mind, and my wife would say to me, what are you thinking about? And I used to think to myself, do you know what, I could have done more today. And now I want to get that worry out of my firefighter's mind, and it's a simple referral process. We're not actually doing interventions, we're just capturing, sending it, having a referral pathway and keeping people in the loop as to where we are. So where that person. We've had a number of child safeguarding issues this year, whereby unfortunately a number of young people have got, and young children have actually been taken into protection orders and been taken into custody, into foster care on a temporary and permanent basis. It's not something we're proud of, but in the back of my mind it's something of an achievement for us, in that ordinarily in the past we'd have gone in, put the fire out and come away from that. And the selling point of that, once we get the one success story and then we promulgate it across my 200 staff, it becomes an ever-growing snowball, basically, that everybody wants to be involved in it. It's not that we're looking for this, we don't want to see it, but when we do see it, they actually know what to do, and they know who to contact, and they're comfortable in the thought process that we do that.
So it spreads a bit like fire.
And absolutely, and some of the work that we've been doing on each of the 10 boroughs in Greater Manchester, and I'm doing separate work here, that is almost being replicated in Stockport, as well as Manchester, as well as Salford, and there's great work going on in them boroughs, and the directive coming down from centre, from our headquarters, is this is great work and this is where we need to be as a fire and rescue service. We do have 6 main aims now, and the big purpose of the fire and rescue service now is to improve the lives of people within Greater Manchester. It's not as it used to be, to put out fires and go to road traffic accidents. So there's a different thought process into where we are. The issue is, of the homes that we've got over here in Wigan, we go into 10% of the homes every year by default, be it a fire or a home safety check. If we see something in them homes, that causes us concern, we've got that referral pathway. And I'm really happy and really content with the way the firefighters have adapted the way they work and the way they think about the way they work over here in Wigan. And certainly you can see it right across Greater Manchester, is that the job of the firefighter has changed holistically over the last 5 years. We've reduced fire calls now from 2004 by 50%.
Wow.
So where in the past we will spend more time answering calls, now we're doing far more community work and filling our time with community work and enhancing our reputation and our corporate social responsibility within the community. And that's really important, because a fire station and the fire service is an iconic service and an iconic place, you know. So I mean, some of the other work that we've been doing, Vince, to open up the fire stations is we've had recent initiatives with health whereby the fire station may be a place that men will come to have their health checks. They won't go to the GP and they don't want to go to the surgery. We did a little bit of an initiative with some of the health nurses who came into the station. We promulgated it far and wide, and we got 100 men who actually came to the local fire station to have their health checked out. And a lot of them men went away through a referral pathway because various bits of issues were found, and obviously to safeguard and protect their own health and what have you, and it improved their health. So I was quite content and happy with that. Another initiative we're doing very shortly is we're doing a cancer awareness one with our own staff. 16 sessions are planned just in Wigan, but the wider thing is whereby we open the fire stations up and the whole of the fire and rescue service personnel within Greater Manchester, or 2,500 staff, are invited to come and be part of that. And that basically is health experts coming in and showing people how to self-assess and self-check themselves for testicular, breast cancer, etc. And hopefully, in the long run, you know, if we can change one person's life, of course, it's worthwhile. We have a very good process and referral process internally, whereby there's people are safeguarded and the health is looked after. The issue is obviously there's a lot of people with a finite resource, and if health professionals out there within the community of Wigan want to come and help the Wigan firefighters, because predominantly the firefighters in Wigan actually do live in Wigan. Of course, they're actually helping members of the public who live and breathe and work and play within the Wigan community. If they want to come and help us, I'm absolutely all for that. That's you know, it's a real positive for me, and it embodies some of the true partnership working, I think. Rather than just going to meetings and talking about it, it just really shows what comes out of the end of it, some of the service delivery side of it, that actually we can make a difference and we can make every contact count.
What would your ambition be for this within both Wigan and beyond? How would you like to see it in a year or 2 years' time, having moved forward?
It's difficult to say in a year or 2 years' time, because I think a year or 2 years' time is almost a short time scale. I think anybody who's at work means you virtually blink and a year's gone by. What would I like to see, certainly in my lifetime, for Wigan, and certainly for health across Greater Manchester, is more people accessing health services, more people becoming healthier within their own community and taking an active, healthier lifestyle, and almost selfishly less fires, less deaths, less injuries for the fire and rescue service. Somebody gave me an analogy a few weeks ago regarding partnership working and how we should be working, and it applies to health. Even though it's a difficult time now for a lot of agencies, we're still all cultivating fruit trees in our own back gardens, but some of the fruit may drop in somebody else's garden and assist them. And if I can assist in some small way to improve the health and lifestyle of Wigan residents, that alternative further down the line, 10 years down the line, they don't have the fire because they're non-smokers anymore, or they're not using chip pans anymore, they're using oven chips, or even better, make yourself a sandwich, it will be a great success story for me.